Elizabethan theater, popular entertainment of its day, by Jason Holland. Sex and violence, we hear that phrase a lot in describing, actually lamenting the state of movies, TV, and even popular music of today. However, as Aldous Huxley said, the charm of history and its enigmatic lesson consists in the fact that from age to age, nothing changes, and yet everything is completely different. Or as the singer Peter Allen put it, everything old is new again. Look back at the beginnings of our modern entertainment in the days of Queen Elizabeth, and we will find that indeed there are several ways in which Elizabethan theater is like today's popular entertainment, like today's movies, TV, and even video games. We will find not only sex and violence, but special effects, humor, tragedy, and atmosphere. Prior to the rise of Elizabethan theater, any drama with spoken dialogue was religious in nature. Mystery and miracle plays were performed by traveling troupes. Their performances were sometimes dramatized, the Bible or the lives of the saints. Under the Protestant Queen Elizabeth, laws were enacted to curtail Catholic propaganda, such as the miracle plays. By forbidding plays on religious topics, the proclamation in 1559, known as the Religious Settlement, was designed to help reconcile Protestants and Catholics. This law required that all performances had to be licensed, and medieval mystery plays, and in fact all plays with religious or political themes, were banned. Surprisingly, in addition to curtailing Catholic propaganda, this was also done to curtail virulent anti-Catholic sentiments, since there was a rash of anti-Catholic theater in London at the time. This left a vacuum of dramatic literature and performance, one which was soon filmed by secular Elizabethan theater as we now know it. Like today's popular entertainment, Elizabethan theater had violence. Prior to spoken secular drama in England, entertainment was often violent contests between animals, such as fights between dogs, bears, cockfighting, or bull baiting. These entertainments were often found in inn-yards. As the Elizabethan theater began to be performed, acting troupes often used the same venue and used the same places, tended to attract the same audiences. Some kind of violence was expected. Shakespeare today is sometimes wrongly thought of as boring and stuffy, when in reality it was competing with cockfights as well as bears and dog fights to death. In the character of Macbeth, even alludes to a bear fighting which has been going on down the street at the very moment the play in Macbeth, Act 5, Scene 7. They have tied me to a stake, I cannot fly, but bear-like, I must fight the course. Suicides were part of the violence as well, such as in Antony and Cleopatra. Cleopatra says, "We have no fronts but resolution in the briefest end." There are several other examples of suicides, such as Lady Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, and Julius Caesar. Both Elizabethan and modern audiences seems attracted to scenes of violence. Why is that? A study conducted recently by the researchers at the University of Augsburg, Germany, and at the University of Wisconsin-Madison discovered that viewers are more likely to watch movies with gory violence if they saw meaning in confronting violence found in real life. Study subjects saw film trailers featuring different levels of violence and meaningfulness, and rated their likelihood of watching the movie to the end. They also record their perceptions of the film, how violent, meaningful, suspenseful, thought-provoking, etc. They found that some violent scenes seemed to interest audiences because they promised to satisfy the search for truth by offering enlightenment into some aspect of the human condition. While the audiences might like Hamlet's to be or not to be soliloquy, they also liked sword fights with lots of blood. Today's popular entertainment, Elizabethan theater had special effects. The effects of spurting blood when stabbed was achieved by actors hiding pig bladders under their costumes. Otherwise, costumes and sets were minimal, but imagery and the dialogue suggest special effects, much like the radio used in the 1930s and 40s. For example, from the first part of King Henry IV.
Oh, then the earth shook to see the heavens on fire, and not in fear of your nativity. Diseased nature oftentimes breaks forth in strange eruptions off the teeming earth, is with a kind of colic pinched and vexed by the imprisoning of unruly wind within her womb, which, for enlargement striving, shakes the old beldame earth, and topples down steeples and moss-grown towers. At your birth, our grandame earth, having this distemperature, in passion shook.
In this passage, one can't help but think of earthquakes and boiling skies, as well as the nature and stress from volcanic and seismic activity. Shakespeare used his words to conjure moods. One of the best examples is the opening of Macbeth.
Scene 1, a desert place. Thunder and lightning, enter 3 witches. First witch. When shall we 3 meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain? Second witch. When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won. Third witch. That will be ere the set of the sun. First witch. Where the place? Second witch. Upon the heath. Third witch. There to meet with Macbeth. First witch. I come, Grey Malkin. Second witch. Paddock calls. Third witch. Anon. All. Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filth the air.
The play opens with witches presumably around a cauldron in a desert place. The initial setting helps Shakespeare set a foreboding mood. For a moment, though, mere words are supplemented with special effects. Inevitably, kinds of gunpowder called squib and Rawson flashes were used, as well as bowling balls rolling on the wooden floor, presumably off stage, to create the effect of thunder and lightning, which Shakespeare calls for. The words of the witches soon continues the mood, with the dialogue beginning in what seems like the middle of a conversation between the witches, as if we had just dropped in on their communications by one of them asking where they should meet the next time, in thunder, lightning, or in rain. The second witch responds, when the hurly-burly's done, and when the battle's lost and won, further setting the tone of the play by cluing in the audience that there is to be a hurly-burly, which means that there is to be a commotion and upset in the normal balance of things. The conflict will be both lost and won, thus creating an ambiguous prediction. The witches seal the mood with hover through the the fog and filthy air. Today we refer to the mood established by a film as atmosphere. Body humor, defined in the Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary as boisterously or humorously indecent, as can certainly be found in Elizabethan theater, as you can find it in today's entertainment in R-rated movies, as well as similarly in TV, especially on cable TV. There's an example. Here's an example from Macbeth, Act 2, Scene 3, where the porter has stumbled out of bed and down the hall to respond to the knocking of Macduff and Lennox. When asked why it took him so long to answer the door, he replies,
Porter. Faith, sir, we were carousing till the second cock, and drink, sir, is a great provoker of 3 things. Macduff. What 3 things does drink especially provoke? Porter. Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him, and it mars him. It sets him on, and takes him off. It persuades him, and disheartens him. Makes him stand to, and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him in a sleep, and giving him the lie, leaves him.
Here Shakespeare makes the audience laugh with a bumbling character who is drunk and also waxes eloquently on the effects of drink. Nose painting refers to how red the nose can become with a lot of drink. The rest of it refers to the fact that too much to drink can both excite lust and yet dampen it at the same time. Shakespeare seems to like highlighting it with that is ambiguous in life. Elizabethan theater indeed had many similarities to today's popular entertainment. Violence didn't start with movies about Al Capone or Hannibal Lecter, and sex didn't start with Mae West or Angelina Jolie. Special effects didn't start with Star Wars, and atmosphere didn't start with Alfred Hitchcock. Like it says in the Bible, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Ecclesiastes 1:9.